Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you are a new subscriber, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Everything that I use in this video will be listed down below. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss whenever I post another video. I'm starting off with this NYX off Tropic palette, and I will have listed down below the exact palette that it is because they have two different ones. I'm starting off with that brown shade, and I'm doing it as if I was doing a half cut crease. So I'm just making a shape and following it all the way back until I feel like it's in the perfect spot. And the reason why I didn't go as far up because I'm going to be adding on some other colors as a transition color, but I wanted to make sure that the placement was exactly where I wanted it to be. I'm going to build this up so when I go to blend it out that it doesn't fade all the product away. Now for the transition shade, I'm going in with this lighter brown shade, and I'm going to just apply this directly on top as well as above that color. And it does not matter if it goes underneath because I am going to clean it up with some concealer as well. But I'm mainly trying to make sure that it stays above that color as well as on top to really fade those two colors in together so that I don't have any harsh lines in between colors. And to add just a little pop of color in there, I'm going in with this orange shade, and I'm gonna do the same exact steps, just applying it on top as well as above, just a little at a time so that everything really flows together. I could have left it how it was, but again, I just wanted a pop of color. I'm gonna go back in with that brown shade just to help deepen that a little more because it kind of disappeared with all the blending. But blending is your best friend, so you want to make sure that you blend everything 100% before moving on. Without having anything on the brush, you're gonna blend that out very lightly, just to make sure that again, you get rid of any harshness that you may have. Now I'm gonna cut my crease using the guide method, which is just adding some concealer as close to my lash line as possible, and then looking up, and it will create a line there, and you just follow that line all the way through. And since I'm doing something a little different today, I'm not going to go all the way to the inner and outer corners. I'm gonna stop halfway. And I'm just doing a quick little look just to make sure that everything is centered before applying more product and making sure that I blend that out. And when blending that out, I'm also tapping it in just so that I don't go further over than what I want it to go. And I'm gonna go in with that brown shade, and I'm just going to blend out the edges a little more and fade that in with that concealer. And I'm doing this on both sides just to make sure that everything is nicely blended before moving on. I'm going to take this orange shade and add that in between that brown and that concealer as well to help fade that out a little more, as well as add some color. And I'm not going all the way up, and I decided to go ahead and apply some powder on top of that concealer just so that I don't receive any creasing while doing the rest of this process. I'm taking a little bit of orange at a time and blending that into that brown, and I don't want the whole lid to be orange, so I'm just adding a little at a time and making sure that I take my time when doing so. I'm loving the way that everything is coming together already. For the rest of the lid, I'm going in with this shimmery orange, and I'm just applying that everywhere else on the lid, leaving a little bit of space at the top. And this is a cute halo look. I love it. It's giving summer as well as like fall colors. I feel like you can do this step or this eyeshadow routine with any colors you feel, but with these colors, it came out perfect. And because I love gold, I'm going in with this gold shimmer, and I'm applying a thin layer above where I left that little space for the concealer. And I want to take my time when doing this, because if I apply it too much, it will be a lot bolder than what I want it to be. I want it to be a little bolder than this, so I'm going to go in with a different liner. This is more of a gold liner so that that really shows through and pop. I am going to make it a little bold so that it will show through. Now that's more like it. And I'm going to repeat the same exact steps on the opposite side. And now I'm going to go in with some primer, and I'm just applying this all over my face before going in with any type of foundation. And I already applied some moisturizer and all of that good stuff off camera before I even got started with anything on my face. And I'm going in with my foundation, and I did kind of use a little too much of this foundation, but everything worked out towards the end, so that's okay. And I'm just stippling this into my skin as well as swiping down onto my neck. And you don't have to do what I'm doing. You can do it however you want to do it and whatever works for you. This just was working for me. And I'm blending this out with a different brush because that brush is a little too small. And I'm still doing the same exact motions, and I'm making sure that I really focus on the hyperpigmentation on my cheeks to make sure that that is nice and covered. And I'm using this beauty blender to soak up some of that excess product as well as finish blending out that foundation. You can use a beauty blender if you like, but this is what works for me. And even though I already concealed my brows, I'm still taking some of that foundation and taking my time going around my brows because I don't like for the top of my brows to have that halo look. I want everything to blend together. And to highlight under my eyes, I'm going in with a different concealer. This is more so of a cream concealer. And I just wanted to see how this one worked versus using the liquid concealer. And I did like the way it looked, but I am taking my time when applying this so that I don't apply too much and apply it where I don't really need it. And now I'm going in with my other concealer, and this one is the one that I use when concealing around my brows. Just adding that to the center so that everything flows together and I don't have a really highlighted under eye. And now I'm just blending out the edges, making sure that those edges are nice and blended before going in with any type of bronzer or blush, highlighter, whatever it is that you use. And I'm lightly tapping that into place because I don't want to remove a lot of that product. If you have a concealer that is not full coverage, what you want to do is let it sit for like a minute or two to dry down before blending it out. And without applying anything else to my brush, I'm going in with this foundation brush to blend out the edges just to make sure that everything is nicely blended. With this brush, you can also go in with a different foundation brush if you feel like it may have too much product on there and it may be making the concealer a little darker. As you can see here, the concealer did get a little darker, but I don't like my concealer to be that bright, so it's okay. Now I'm taking this triangle puff to blend out that inner corner, taking my time when doing this to make sure that I don't apply too much pressure, that I'm removing too much of that product. Now I'm just applying a little bit of translucent powder just to set that concealer underneath my eye. Now I'm going to do the same steps on the opposite side. Now that I have all of that nicely blended, I am setting the rest of my face with some pressed powder, and then I'm gonna go underneath my eyes and add a little more pressed powder because I want under there to be nice and smooth. And you want to make sure that before you go in with anything, any type of spray, you want to dust away any excess product that you may have. And right now I know my face may look a little lighter because of the powders, but once I set and spray my face, everything will melt together. And I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my face off camera. I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. Everything that I used will be listed down below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. This is going to be my last summer look because we're now moving on to autumn and fall. So I will be doing more colors towards that. As this is, or I should say this can be one of those looks as well. So I will see you in the next video.